aligning images is the same as aligning text. So let's have a look at this. If I select or click in an area of text, you can see I have alignment properties from my properties panel. If I click and select on an image, you can see I have the same kind of options. However, you can see that this image is inside a table. So if I click here, we can see the table ID tags have appeared. This is the best way to work with images inside, basically placing an image inside a table. So if I click here and select left, select center, select align right, it has no effect on that image. That is because there is no negative space around that layout or that design. It's sitting nice and tight and snug inside a table. So let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. What I'm going to do is select this and press Ctrl C and basically paste it inside some text. So I'm going to do that, and you can see that it's basically has a space down here and a bit of space at the bottom here. But let's have a look if I want to place this in the center of this table around it. So let's have a look at and see what happens. I'm going to select center, and basically it aligns it to the center, and if I select left, it aligns it to the left, and so forth. So that's quite cool. However, if I basically move this in some text, let's have a look at what happens now. If I place this in the center, it moves the text along around the image. So basically it's wrapping around the image, and by default this is technically specified to having a spacing of border, meaning that when we basically move our image around, the text is going to wrap around the image by default. So if I click here, click on center, it centralizes the text. If I select here, it basically moves everything to the right and left. You can see that going on. Now one of the most basic ways of inserting an image appropriately is embedding it inside a table. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get rid of that image, and I'm going to specify that space, and what I'm going to do is click here, and you'll see that by doing that, Dreamweaver automatically shifts up my text for me. That's quite handy. Now I'm going to click over here, and what I'm going to do, select here, and what I'm going to do is insert a table, and you can see the table has been inserted directly underneath the text, which is brilliant. I can just roughly scale this down, and I don't need to do that. What I'm going to do is just select that image and copy and paste it in here, and it automatically resizes table accordingly. So I'm going to select that, Control C, Control V, and you can see that it's basically stretched out wide enough to fit that image in. And what I'm going to do is just drag that and tighten that in, so we've got a nice table image embedded in our table. And what I can now do is, if I select this, if I want to centralize this image, if I click center, it's basically going to move in the center of that table spacing. So we're going to have to do this manually, and I'll show you how to do that. What I'm going to do is select the actual table, go to code view, and we can see the table tag. If I select the table like so, we can see here is the code for the table, and what I'm going to do is just press spacebar, and I'm just going to enter the center tag like so, close that, and I'm just going to find the closing tag for our table, which is here, and what I'm going to do is add the closing tag for the center, and there we have it. And I can click refresh button, and I can click the design. Whoa. Sorry, I've seemed to have placed that in the wrong. It needs to go here. My mistake. And click refresh and go to the design view, and you'll see that basically the image has moved into the center, so centralized according to that area. Now, depending on your layout, this image should really be the size of this table here. So, or vice versa, or basically this table should really be the size of the image. So it just means that it's all consistently laid out, and it looks a lot nicer than an image that's floating in the middle of a website. But that was just a demonstration on how to embed an image inside a table and then change it using a custom center tag manually in the code view.